If we could just start looking at this. Are you alright with that, or do we not want to show this? Yeah, just show it. I push play. What's the mics? Yeah, let's go up there.
This unforgiving and punishing landscape has served as the race course for the most challenging off-road race in the world.
Which one? What's that?
The ultimate test of
Okay.
man and machine. This is the big war.
You live? We're live on here too. Speaker working as we're talking. Do you get any mic check or no? Speaker working. 1, 2, 3. All right. Speaker on Instagram. Facebook's playing something different, so there won't be a speaker right now, right? There's a speaker there. I'm overpowering it. Can people hear me on Facebook? Thumbs up if you can hear me on Facebook. Thumbs up. All right, perfect.
Good on Instagram.
All right, cool. Keep it going with the show playing in the background. I think it'll run like that. I thought it was pretty cool to show some history. This is the 1978 Net 400, and these were the cars that my dad and Frank Vessels raced back in the day. And give you guys just a little bit of history here. I would be 9 years old when this video was shot. And, you know, trophy trucks really started in about 2003, 2002. It went from class 1 to trophy truck. My father actually was working with Pernelli Jones, and they built the Blazers. They built it at Pernelli's shop. Engineer was John Bernard. Dick Russell was obviously the fabricator. But I learned at a young age what quality craftsmanship was and what needed to be built throughout my career, both from starting off-road to IndyCar, IMSA, Dakar, NASCAR, Stadium Super Truck, Polaris, Arctic Cat XX, and now the Speed UTV. So I just thought it was cool to go back. I was sharing this with the engineers that work here at Speed UTV, and example of in 1978, you got John Bernard as the engineer, you got Pernelli Jones, you have Dick Russell, you have Bobby Spears, you have Charlie Haga, who Charlie Haga was the guy that eventually went on and designed the Malibu Grand Prix cars back in the day. So that was a dream team in the 70s. I was fortunate enough to have a dream team in the early 90s when we did the Valvoline Trophy Truck, as well as the days that the Venable team were. I was fortunate enough to work with guys like Russ Werdemont or Mike Smith and Donnie Fair, Dave Forbes, Donnie Guerrero, Johnny Kaiser, just an array of talented craftsmen. And I think this is what has allowed us to, or has taught me, to be able to design a car to be the leader in the category. This week we are obviously starting to get some of our parts in, stuff that takes months to get. Especially an example, we're getting ready to, we're ordering components, and the shock order alone is 25,000 shock absorbers to fill the order for the Speed UTV cars that have already been purchased through customers and dealers. So our numbers have skyrocketed over the last few weeks. This thing is getting more and more serious every week, and it's pretty cool. So I just thought this was a neat background to start and get us rolling into tonight's episode. Now we're going to try things a little bit different this week. We have now brought the presentation on to the Facebook page and YouTube channel, right? So that's right on the computer. So I'll be talking over the presentation. Hopefully that'll work. We'll try it this way. You guys can let me know what you think. If you like it better the other way, we'll go back the other way next week. Actually, the next 2 weeks, we will not be shooting the show from my shop. We'll be shooting it from Road America next Wednesday night. And then the following Wednesday night, we'll be prepared to run the Unicorn at Vegas Torino. So that'll be right before qualifying. They'll have qualifying around 8 o'clock. But I'll be on the West Coast, so it'll be 6 o'clock next Wednesday night, West Coast, shooting from out in the desert. So hopefully we can get good service, or we're going to have to move our location to where we can get good service and be able to run the show tonight. Are you guys getting something there, questions or things they want? Background noise? Okay. Configurator? Yeah, so the configurator has been running, and we'll be honest with you, we have had a little bit of issues with the configurator. It's not that we couldn't play with the configurator itself. It was we could get the car done, but then when we started adding on the accessories onto the configurator, it wouldn't allow us to send a response to customers, send a response to us when they order wheels, tires, winglets. So we do have a new configurator that is up and running, and we will show this to you guys tonight. But it'll allow the first customers, first 100, to start playing with it, and then they'll be able to email us their order and make it easier to start processing their order. Like I said, we know we're on a tight timeline. We wanted to have it done a little bit before the first. Watching everything out there, what people are saying, and this is a video that was posted on UTV Action.
Hold up just a second. We lost sound on Facebook.
Okay, lost sound on Facebook. Okay, we're gonna have to hang 1 second. They lost sound on Facebook. Give 1 second. Sound on Facebook. I'll keep testing until you guys give me a thumbs up back on sound. Sound on Facebook. We should be on this mic now, right?
Yeah.
And no sound.
Lights on.
Lights on. No sound, right?
I hear it now.
You hear it? Ginger, can you give me a thumbs up? Do I need to move my location a little bit?
I don't think it's you.
It's back.
1, 2, 3, it's back? All right, sound. Can you guys hear me okay if I stand over here? Sorry to have to check sound, but can you guys hear me okay? Still thumbs up? All right, we good?
So far.
So far, good. All right. So I'll speak up a little bit louder here. Page 1, there was a post from either yesterday or the day before yesterday that UTV Action Mag posted. It's a video. Can we play the video? So here's the video, and someone asked what happened and what's the deal. So from what I can see, the spindle is still sitting in the correct location from my view. Obviously, the owner of this vehicle would be able to tell me exactly what happened. But watching this, it looks like the end of the stub axle broke off. And I want to show you guys what we're doing to, that looks like it's probably sitting on a 32-inch tall tire. The guy hopefully didn't wreck with it. He just broke a hub and probably just spun out. But the tire slide underneath there for a while definitely saved him. It didn't hook and started doing the sprint car bike. But you know, people said, "What happened? What do you think? Or what do you think caused this?" I can tell you what I think caused it, because I had it happen numerous times with the vehicles when we started on the XX process, and some of the original Articats, the way the spindle was held on, wouldn't make it a lap or two on our test track. That's how hard we're pushing things, pushing the envelope. So when we designed the Double X, I also designed the complete hub assembly that allows the hub to register inside on the spindle snout, and then it also registers on the bearing. And by doing this, it shared the load from the stub axle. The stub axle just holds the assembly in the bearing housing and doesn't allow it to try to snap off. Obviously, as we have more power, those are going to be newer things we work through, but the stub axle and the bearing and the hub all ride in together instead of having a loose fit with the hub riding on the stub axle. So I'm pretty confident on that Polaris it broke the stub axle, and that's what happened. So I did want to show you what we did, and I did make a comment on it. But one thing, you know, that really started why we started with the Mint 400. I want to kind of explain how we got into the building car business and what our pedigree is compared to what the competitor's pedigree is. And I know there's a big difference between building one trophy truck or one Class 1 car or 36 stadium super trucks that we have now. They have taught us how to, one, manufacture, how to make reliable parts, but also think of safety at all times. Because I think the safety aspect of this is very important, especially because people are going out on trails, they just want to go out for a good time on the weekend, and an off-road vehicle is a great way to do it. But, you know, we've got to also think about the conditions they're riding in, and we've got to take extreme precaution on all aspects of it. So when we did the Double X cage, you know, it was the first time that we integrated a spine into a UTV. Nobody was ever doing that before as a manufacturer. Cage was kind of bolted on, stand up like 2x4s. Double X cage, as we've seen, is very strong. We've seen them crash down on rocky hills, and the roll cage stays together, which is really good. And now on the Speed UTV, we've actually added another bar in here at the door that'll support the A, so that'll give us an A post. We showed that a couple weeks ago on our show, and that is in the car. We are taking and we're watching all these videos and all this stuff happening out there, and we're integrating as fast as we can in our car to give you guys the safest car in the industry. Shocks. That was what was posted. Is that the next slide? Yeah, shocks. Okay, so the prototype shocks, we showed you CAD, but these are now actual components. So shocks, I want to give you guys some background. People say, why would you build your own shock? I just want to tell you guys, before King was in business, we had internal bypass trophy truck shocks. You know, we've been doing this since the late 80s, early 90s, building shocks that have set the stage in off-road. And I think King, they've been a partner of ours for a long time. They built a wonderful shock. We use all the King products on our stadium super trucks. But when we get into building this many cars and this much manufacturing, we wanted to have the next step of a shock, and we wanted to be able to control our own destiny. And that's why we've done shocks, engines, gearbox, axles, CVs, seats, chassis, ECU, pretty much everything on the car, engine, I think I said that before. Everything on the car is produced by our associates. And by doing that, that allows us to control our destiny and not get handicapped by an engine manufacturer that maybe doesn't want to give us more power when we know we need more power to lead the industry. Shocks, so shocks are out. I'll give you an example. Actually, Kyle, can I talk you to run and grab that red shock one more time? The shocks that are being built now, this shock here and this shock went from a design to an actual component. These were built before, and these are shocks that we've had before, but it's the first time that we've now made them both compression and rebound adjustable in the reservoir. So now we've got adjusters in there We can go in so that I can give you a car to go to Baja and be nice and plush, but then you go to Glamorous and you want to launch it, a couple of spins on the tube, and you've now got a car that you can bash around. You know, a lot of people say, well, why don't you give me ride demand where I touch a button and it does it? I got to be honest, it won't flow the flow you need when you want to cruise and you want to ride through the hoops. So that ride command won't give you the passageway to displace the shaft fluid quick enough. So I've got a theory, I'll let everybody figure it out, but I know what my theory is to keep the harshness out of the car at low speed, and that's what we've done. So this shock here is this shock here. Now remember, it's kind of crazy. We have been doing spinning 360 reservoirs since the early 90s. I know that Fox and King now are doing it. But this is a shock that was done in the early 90s. Obviously, we've got a lot more technology. We've learned a lot over the years, but spinning reservoir is something we have with the speed shock as well. And we have actual components before we design shocks. And these shocks are actually an upgrade up from what's on the Unicorn. So on the Unicorn, we've gone back to the speed shocks. And with that said, that's the Speed RGX. This has another new feature that will give us more control, allow you to set your car up for dunes, rocks, off-road, without ever having to get into your valving stack and making a valving change. So I think we got something special here. Actually, I know we have something special, and it'll be very good for your cars. All right, so very similar products all the way from the UTV to the Unicorn. And we'll go ahead and switch to the next slide. This is a pretty cool feature here. I don't think Daniel's going to get inside and show us tonight. But when we started the Stadium Super Truck, we had some motors expire. And the reason we lost motors was we were losing oil pressure. Well, one thing we didn't quite understand when we designed the truck is we were going to have 3 seconds of vertical G. Remember, it's like 3 seconds. Well, we jumped these things about 150 to 225 feet off of our metal ramps. And as we compress, the things are flying, all the oil is going to the top. So this is another part that has now made it from the Stadium Super Truck over to the Speed UTV. And this has internals that send the oil back to the bottom, but also baffle it. The reason for doing this is to knock the foam out of it. It's a nice, proper oil tank, not plastic, not stamped aluminum, a nice forged cast, tubes, welded, fabricated part that allows us to put the oil where we want inside the can. And so there's baffling and tubes all the way through. It's a vertical tank. This will hold about 1.5 gallons of oil, maybe 1.6 gallons of oil by the time it's all said and done. That will also be enough oil to supply the turbo as well as the motor. It's cooled and it runs through a little heat exchanger. So there's no heat exchangers built in. I know we're going to get back into some more, but I don't know if you guys saw this this Honda wreck from the other day. This guy did do something a little extreme. We have a saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Unfortunately, he completely wrote off his brand new Honda. But back to what we said, no diagonals in the roof, literally sent the roll cage over. I hope this guy is safe. There's the video, we'll go ahead and play it. He was going to do a little rock climbing or up a little incline, probably playing with his buddies, stuff we all do. And he started to lose grip. And what he did, he just started rolling. And he got into the bushes over here, if you look at it. So for that thing there, I think it had a hard hit down there at the bottom. But if you look at what happened to this car, right, I hope these guys are okay. But this is when you don't have a spine, you don't have a structure to hold the roll cage up, this is what happens, it lays over. And that's back to when we build UTVs. We come from an industry where we crash cars at Daytona at 200 miles an hour, and the roll cage has to stay on that car. We've learned with DOM that it can crush. It's better than 4130 for roll cages. So all the things that we've learned in the years of trophy truck, NASCAR, Trans Am, obviously Baja cars, we built a roll cage that will hopefully be the strongest in the industry. Not hopefully, it will be the strongest in the industry, and I hope it protects you. But when you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes, and unfortunately, that guy wrote off his whole car. So I don't recommend you do this, but if you're going to do it, we're going to give you the safest cage in the industry with Speed UTV. Configurator. I know you guys were asking us, hey, you told us we're going to figure last week, you're going to figure this week. This has been a bit of a challenge for us, and it has been actually a major challenge for us. And the major challenge for us has not been the configurator, but has been for the configurator to save it into your profile and also document what you ordered. There's a lot of accessories that we had implemented into the configurator. Some of you guys were playing with that, some were starting to go. What I'd like to do is take a couple minutes, switch over to the current configurator that is up and running, and it will be sent out to those same customers that got allowed in the first time. And this one will send you a letter or send you a confirmation email. It'll also collect into our system so that we know exactly what accessories you want. A lot of people say, okay, well, why do I need to buy my accessories? Well, if you want your accessories installed, this is not buy accessories and it shows up in the bed with your car when you get it. This is installed, ready to go accessories from Speed UTV, so you can actually optimize your package that you've already done. We know we've sold some base models, we sold some LEs, and we sold some RGs. But not everybody, some people may be a new customer and they need tie downs, or they need a spare tire, or they want a roof rack, or they want window nets even though they didn't get the package that had window nets, or they want a radio intercom. So we've allowed you guys to upgrade your cars. Not everybody has to do that. It's at your choice. You can do whatever you want. But it allows us to put those products on for you, and the labor of installing that stuff is fairly difficult. The other thing it does is any accessories that you purchase today, it'll go towards your deposit, because if you're going to finance a car with us through the financing, you're going to be putting somewhere between 15 and 25% down based on your credit. So I would like to maybe step out of the camera for a second, or can I just do it from here? Okay, perfect. Let's kind of go through this. Sorry, I didn't realize this was here. This is a trail kit. So this is a package that Todd has put together that comes with a spare tie rod in case you're playing in the trees and you whack a tie rod. Comes with a spare axle. Comes with a tow rope. Comes with a tire and wheel, and comes with a jack. So this is what Todd is calling his trail kit, and this is one of the accessory packages that you can pick. All right, we can go on to the next slide. This is the Speed UTV break-in kit. Obviously, we have our oils through VP, and we've got our air filter, we've got our belt. What's this one?
Oil filter.
Oil filter, sorry. I should know that. But the reason it caught me off guard is the oil filter in our car, I think I showed you on the engine, it's in a canister. So this is an oil filter that you can actually inspect. So when you change the oil filter, you can see how much bearing material you have in there, if you have any debris, any parts and pieces. Where normally if you have a spin on, you really don't know what it is and you keep going. Here, this will be another preventive maintenance program, and you'll be able to do that, and you'll be able to share your information throughout your app with other riders as well. But this is the Speed UTV break-in kit.
You have prices for these kits yet?
Yes, these are all in the configurator, correct? Okay. Is this one in the configurator or no? No, okay. So the break-in kit is not in the configurator yet, but it will. By the time you guys are operational, that will be in there. The other kit will be in there. Do you know the price on the first one? Can you give me a price? And I'll give it to you. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next page. This is the Speed UTV cooler that fits into this location here. This is a package. Okay, next page. Obviously that one there, sorry, go back. It has a spare tire, so you would need to pick the cooler package, which this is the style of cooler, but it will be made to fit into our bed. So it will be configured for our size. We're just showing that these storage boxes are actual coolers. They're not just storage boxes. As a cooler, you could use it as a storage box or cooler, but you can't use a storage box for cooler because it doesn't have double wall insulation. So these boxes are double wall insulated, so you can use them as storage or you can use them as a cooler. Accessory list. In general, we have fire extinguisher, window nets, windshield, cargo rack, CO2 jack, ratchet strap tie downs, spare wheel and tire, 50-inch curved light bar, rear chase light bar, LED whips and flags, front bumper, rear bumper, cargo system, the crescent and the rectangular box. The crescent is the one that's obviously curved, that follows the tire. Next page. Configurator, and this is the revised new configurator. You're saying, okay, it's the same configurator I saw before. Well, it's the same configurator you saw before as far as body, chassis, accessories, but what this allows us to do, it allows you to actually pick your accessories, configure it, and it will actually save everything you pick. It'll integrate with our system, which will allow us to start finalizing your order all the way through. So we said August. I wanted to have it to you before August. Obviously, we're still close. We'll have it to you by August, and we'll probably move that August order back just a few days once it's 100% done. I would like to, I will speak to this, but I'd like, or maybe I'll get Nazi here to walk us through this configurator and how it works. So we're going to pick this vehicle here, and I'm going to say, you know what? We had a lot of people talk about Speed S, so let's go over here. Can you give me a change on the Speed S logo now? All right, so now, if you chose to change this, you can change to a gray logo. You can go to a black logo. You can go to the white logo. You can go to black and orange. You can show it with a better overlay underneath it.
Yeah.
So you really get to choose your style of the Speed S when you change that. We get into the wheels and tires. We'll go ahead and show that now. Wheels and tires will not have a price. You get the choice to pick whatever wheel combination you want. You get to pick that as you choose. You can go to the 14-spoke raw or the 14-spoke black. You can go to the RG wheel, which is the RG black or the RG raw. So you get to choose that. That's not a price option there. That is what everybody got with their orders, except for the base model cars did not get V-Locks. And we're not talking about base cars because base models don't show up for a long time down the list of orders. Graphics, do you want to mix a black and white car? Let's do a black and white car. There's a lot to play with here now. So as you're playing with this, know that this is changing. There's a black and white, it's a nice clean looking car. Let's kind of roll down the road with that. Now let's go down to our accessories. All right, right now, boom, here's your accessories. Here's your choices. You can add your fire extinguisher. Scroll down at the same time. You got to kind of bounce back and forth here because we've added so many accessories. But if you see that, he's added the fire extinguisher. It's up here on the car. Not only is it up here on the car, it's added it into your car. I want a jack, okay? Here, you see the jack is over here inside your car. That tells you got a jack. Window nets. Boom, he's picked some window nets here. What's the next one? Glass windshield. He wanted the glass windshield enclosure. Bang, it's over there. And he wanted the cargo rack. Bang, you got your cargo rack. As you've seen all this stuff's on there, you've got it. Now you can go down here, and let's grab the mirrors now. Let's say I want some side mirrors. We'll roll over. If you look over here, you can see the side mirror right there. You see the black mirror there, and you can see the chrome there. As he clicks that on and off, I don't know if you can do that now. As he clicks it off, you will lose the mirror. and you will not see it over here on the side. I'm going to go ahead and click that back on. All right, so now let's go down to our lighting. In our lighting area, we have our 50-inch light bar. As we scroll down, boom, now you see the 50-inch light bar. It seems like the roof rack came off. You want to throw the roof rack back on? We're going to build you a fairly, so this car right here, what you see is as you added your parts, you're seeing the price change too. Now this is the car, everybody that's playing in this configurator, we already know you paid for a deposit on your car. This is what your accessories are, to have them installed when you get your car as a complete unit. So it's adding up these prices. You scroll down, keep going down. Bumpers, do you want bumpers? Yep, I need bumpers. So there's a front one and a back one. Bang, we added that. Now, if you're a first-time owner and you don't have ratchet straps, we've got over-center ratchet straps that have the loop on them. So you need 4 ratchet straps. You can click your 4 ratchet straps at the bottom. 3, 4, he's picked 4 ratchet straps. Go ahead and slide on down. Keep going down farther. Now you see his prices now with all the roof rack. Do you have a cooler in this one?
We haven't added it yet.
Okay, the cooler's not added yet. All right. Oh, there it is. Cargo. You can add it. It just doesn't show it in the configurator, correct? Does it show it up here somewhere? No, it doesn't. But over here, it'll show you in your accessories over here of where you picked your accessories and all the stuff. And oh, there it is. It's starting to write them down right there as well. All your accessories. Slide on down. Okay, I think I've got the car I want. Now, what do I need to do to close out my order? You add it to the cart. When you add it to the cart, watch now that we're on Tonight Live, it won't do it. Okay, boom. Products in the cart. So inside the cart, you have your vehicle. All right, you have your wrap. You've picked and configured the wrap colors you like with your graphic colors. You've got your backgrounds. You've got all your overlays. It tells us what number, what parts. Your speed logo you picked out. Your wheels you picked out, or I should say I picked out. Fire extinguisher, the jack, the window nets, the windshield, the cargo rack, the light bar, rear bumpers. Pretty much everything you need to go. And then let's go on down. All right, keep going. Now we can close on down here. Proceed to checkout. Now when you proceed to checkout, it'll show you, I bought this car, so this is under my program. We've got the shop address here in Charlotte. We checked all of our stuff. Do I want, yeah, go ahead and send me my product updates. I want that. Promos and product updates. I want to know what else Speed UTV is coming with. And then from the next side, am I done? Boom, proceed to payment. You need to pay for your accessories if you want them installed. This is I picked about everything on the car. It's about a $6,000 upgrade. I've got ratchet straps and pretty much everything else. As we come time to final delivery, yes, we will have trailers for the guys that want trailers. It tells me how I want to pay. Go ahead and this time here, let's go back up. Yeah, just up a little bit. What credit card do we pay with? You can either make direct bank transfer, you can pay with a check, or you can pay with a credit card. And I've read and agreed to my terms and conditions. Continue the payment. I'm going to go ahead and pay it. Let's buy it. Enter my card number. Bang. Whoops, don't let me get my card number. Is that a real card number? Don't be checking out my number. Keep going. All right, bang. Let's you can't. It's up there. He's showing everybody. Jesus, I'm gonna be broke.
Not a real card number.
Okay, it's not a real. Okay, enter my expiration date and my code. All right. And pick it out, and bam, you're done. You have now closed out your order. It will email you. It'll email us, so we will know. And we want you. We'll do a double check. We want you to read your email, and then you'll send a reply over to the Speed UTV HQ to orders at Speed UTV. Bang, you push it, boom, your car's closed out. So now, not only your base car, this is your base car with everything you need to proceed through the process. So this has been a challenge for us to be able to do this. There's not many or any car companies. We're not talking about UTVs. We're talking about car companies that are allowing you this much detail, this much configuration, and allowing you to process through all online. So thank you for being patient with us. I know people say, when can I check out? When can I check out? We get it every single day. When we have this thing completely done, we'll be closing out. So we said last week, the problem was we couldn't get it to interface. The system we had, we spent weeks on. We spent over a month on getting it to the point we could never get it to interface with our system. Now we've got something that'll interface, it'll lock it to your order, and it'll make it much easier for us to process this whole transaction and put you in the best UTV in the industry. So thank you for that. I will go to live call-ins now. I've got one already on the hotline. Hey, you're on with Robbie Gordon today. How are you doing? I appreciate you calling in with us. It's awesome.
Hey, just a couple of quick questions. I've got a Diablo on order.
Okay.
Super excited to get to you guys.
Oh, that was cameras up.
On episode 12, you talked a little bit about considerations that you had made with everything that you had learned. But the one thing that I didn't hear about was when you put that speed key in, how do we change the weights on that primary to keep us in the correct torque curve with all that extra power?
We are working on that, and you're asking a wonderful question. We think we have it situated because we've got the CVT to be able to shift gears, okay, which is very similar to changing power. But the CVT that we've worked with the guys on developing does allow us for variable adjustment. So there will be.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
You had also mentioned that there's a CVT fan that you guys apparently had run during the Dakar rallies. Does that come standard, or is that an option?
No, that is a standard. So can we show them the fan on the CVT? Can you get in?
I don't have that right now. We can post it for next week.
Is there a way you can get me a picture on my phone sent to me? Yeah, before the calls tonight, I'll try to get the primary fan has the primary clutch has a massive fan on it. And I'm not talking about a paddle fan like you've seen on the other manufacturers, but it has a massive, massive, massive fan built onto it. So we do not need an electric fan to be able to keep this thing. We've also worked on the airflow through the CVT cover to get proper flow out of it. And we've also got a big exit fan built on to the secondary as well. So it's not just the primary, it is the primary and the secondary that has fans built into it.
Well, wonderful. I'll be excited to see some of those details a little bit later on. Sounds like you guys have done your homework and have learned how to keep these things cool.
Well, we've done our homework there.
One more question.
Yep, go ahead.
Is the heat exchanger for your turbo, your intercooler, is that integrated into the large radiator?
All right. So you're asking great questions tonight. Obviously, you seem like you're very experienced with what you're doing. There is a second radiator in front of the radiator. So the heat exchanger that cools the air is operated off a separate system radiator. So two radiators in the car, one for the water for the engine and one for the water for the air cooler or for the heat exchanger that's inside the airflow on the way to the throttle body.
Okay, perfect. And if I can just ask one last question, this is regarding a winch mount for the front. You mentioned before that there should be space behind the grill. This would be an inboard option that you offer, and is it going to come with mounting tabs for that, or is that something that we're going to have to weld into place?
It is. You're asking great questions, and yes, we are there. We have been working with a supplier to give the first because we know our car is going to be heavier than a Polaris. It's going to be heavier than the Can-Am, but it is because it's made, it's got extra supports. It's pretty much everything it needs. So we know that we're going to be a little more robust than the industry. So we have this bad boy that we've been working with. Boom. And we have a 6,000 pound, 6,000 speed winch that will be mounted under the hood of the car that will allow us to have a winch system built in for you guys. And yes, it already has the strong rope style twine instead of having a cable. It has a fairleaf. It will be mounted on the down bars behind the grill. Yes, you will have to change your grill in the car, but that's about it, and it will clamp right onto those tubes, and it is behind the front tires. So this is something that's protected. You can still have great approach angle and not have your winch out in front to pull volume.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. I'm so excited to get this car. You guys done a phenomenal job designing it. Know of anyone looking for a 4-seater Razor? I've got one for sale. Thanks, buddy.
Well, hey, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I had a lot of fun with the Razor cars that I had back in the day. I just think this thing's going to be one next level ahead.
I agree.
Thank you. Could you bring me over one of the toolboxes from over here, just so I have a toolbox to kind of set up here? We've got some of these Mac toolboxes around here. The guys at Mac dialed us in when I was back at the NASCAR program, so that we've been using that as a bench, and we'll get it back over here. Hey, it's Robbie Gordon. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, Rocky. We're super pumped about getting this car. I've asked you a couple of questions, but the first thing it told me is the suspension and the roll cage. It was beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Anyway, my question is, how did we properly break in the engine?
Yeah, so the engine will have some parameters built into the ECU that we will allow you to break in the engine so that we have more reliable components. Obviously, it'll have a little bit retarded timing. It'll have a little bit lower boost levels until we get, at 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles. But I would say about 250 miles when you change your oil, that's when you'll get to your power. But we do have to do a decent break-in period to do that. Obviously, if you had the speed key and you launched that in early, if you don't have the warranty program, obviously you avoid your warranty. I think we've talked about that a lot. But it is important to I would say, a good 50 to 100 miles of decent break-in for a long life reliability of your car.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a question? I just want to say thank you, Robbie. It's an awesome machine, and we're excited.
Well, I'm excited too. So, I mean, this has been a long time coming. I've designed UTVs for other manufacturers for a long time, and I've just struggled getting the end product that I wanted. Both of my last deals, they had final design choices, and here now that we have our own company, we can do what we want to build you guys the best car in the industry.
Yeah, we can't sleep, man. We think about it every day, so we'll say thank you. And thank you.
Oh, great.
Ginger and Mike out here in Anaheim too, man. Good support, good team. Love you guys.
Well, thank you very much. We're working hard. I'm sure you guys know that. It's every day, and we've got a great staff. Ginger, Mike, Daniel, Kyle. I mean, there's more than I can name. Kyle Robbins, Todd Romano, obviously. We just got a Bazzi, Rob Harris. There's just a bunch of guys have done a wonderful job getting us to the place we're at today.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one, and we'll see you on the drive.
All right, thank you. All right, so up here, while I was on that phone, we have now launched the clutches, and we're giving you guys a visual of what these clutches are. And you're seeing the two big frames. This one is channeling the air out, This one's channeling the air in, flicks it out the top. Something we haven't really told you guys about, but these clutches are riding on outside bearings, so they are in double shear. Something else very new to the production UTV industry. We've seen this in the very high horsepower drag units before, but as you can imagine, as those belts are closing in the sheaves, it's trying to pull those arms in. Now we got a bearing, we got an aluminum cover that supports that. It'll make it more robust, make it easier on the crank. It'll also make it easier on the input shaft into the gearbox.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hey, you're on with Robbie Gordon tonight here at Speed UTV. How you doing?
Hey, Robbie, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thanks for calling in tonight.
Yes, sir. I'm Master 1758, Unit 268.
1758. It's pretty gnarly when you start hearing those numbers. But so your 1758 were a few. You were probably in the last 10 days, I would say, you purchased that car?
Right on. Yeah, exactly 10 days ago.
Yep. No, we've crossed over into the 1800 number to direct sales, which I got to be honest, we never thought we would do that. We figured we would get our dealer network set up and we'd eventually get to 5,000 cars. We have crossed the 5,000 car number with our current dealers that we've already got committed. So 2021 model is awesome. And obviously, as you guys understand, when we get more cars like that sold, it allows us for better tooling, better engineering. The component part, our negotiation on parts gets better, which is allowing us to just make better components. How can I help you, not on your question?
Okay, well, I've got something for you. I'll try to make it quick. First off, my sister made for TV. Next, I wrote a letter to Todd. I know y'all are busy about dealerships, but in the event that doesn't work out, is there any way we can get credit for said car sales? They said you weren't going to go public and there wasn't going to be any stock available. You were going to keep it between the two of y'all. I think I have at least 4 cars sold right now, so I'm curious about that. The next thing is we're definitely going to go and race our cars. We're in Texas, but we're going to drive to California. We're going to go to Baja. Is there going to be any kind of a support program for us guys that want to run under the RGM tent or Speed tent?
Yes, there is going to be programs. One thing that I have gotten approved through our management department is very, very, very big prize money. We're going to reward the guys for winning. Obviously, everybody wants to race. Unfortunately, there's only one winner at the end of the day. With regards to racing, yes, we will have support program. We're working on our white glove program, which will bring our box trucks to the racetrack, which will set up pits for our customers, and it will also bring spare components. So a racer could go and apply under our racing program, and he doesn't have to have all the spare parts. If you run on our tires and wheels, we would even bring spare wheels and tires to operate the pit crew. So we're really trying to find a way to make it easier for more competitors to be racing, but also advance the team faster. And when you race more cars like we do with Stadium Super Truck or multi-car, we've seen it with NASCAR and other programs, multi-car teams actually get better results with regards to the fact that just there's more cars running.
Obviously. Hey, very proud of you.
It's
I'm
awesome.
going to let everybody know I am going to plug my speed key in immediately, and I am not buying a warranty because I am that confident about what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you. You might be more confident than me, but I can tell you that before we deliver this first car, we're going to make sure it's robust, okay? The engine dyno testing that's currently going on, the stuff that we're doing to make this thing reliable from CVT belts, from keeping them cool, to fly-by-wire throttle, which when we see a spike on the ECU belt, we'll obviously tune the throttle back for you guys, which will save your belt from just exploding and blowing everything up. Obviously, a lot of that stuff's going to take some tuning to get it completely dialed. And yes, it will have a switch to shut it off if you choose to manage it yourself. But it will have like a traction control system for the ECU belt as well. So we've got a lot of features built into the ECU that will allow us to keep the car reliable for the average guy and the racer. You know how we are, we always push it to the max.
Awesome. Hey, keep up the good work. I will call you next week.
All right, yeah, and thank you. You know, I want to try to explain to a lot of people, you know, the dealers that we have signed up have been multi-line dealers. I have a reason for that. Todd has a reason for that. And we know when we put one of our vehicles on the floor next to a Polaris and Can-Am, we know what the customer is going to choose for a vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. How about any specially designated repair facilities if you weren't a dealer set?
We're going to have that. We're also going to have mobile repair. So Speed UTV. You're in Texas. You know, don't take that the wrong way. We've sold some cars in Texas. Obviously, our hot spots right now is California, Arizona. Believe it or not, we have sold more cars in Utah than we have in Nevada, which I find that a surprise. I would have thought that Nevada would have been a higher number, but it goes right now, sales, California, Arizona, Utah. And then obviously we've got dealers from top to bottom on the West Coast. So Todd's been doing a wonderful job over there. People interested in dealerships, you have to talk to Todd Romano. This is his part of the business, and he will facilitate our dealers with his team.
Excellent. Well, you know everybody's moving to Texas.
I know. Just so you know, we're final assembly in Texas as well. So
I know.
we got a lot of stuff happening in Texas, and it's a great state. I think it's a lot of businesses. We watched Toyota move to Texas recently. A lot of businesses are moving to Texas, and you guys have some unbelievable desert that's it's privately owned, but you got some awesome roads and awesome trails out there.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Hey, you're on with Robbie Gordon tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, thank you. Who am I speaking with tonight?
My name's Henry. I'm calling from Yuma, Arizona.
Oh, excellent. Yes. How are you, Henry?
Good, good. So I've got your El Diablo RT and number 78.
Oh, you're an early one. Cool. Congratulations.
Yes, I'm excited to get the car. I'll be racing the car.
Yep.
And on the Score Investor Desert rulebook, they have on there that you have to have 1,000 units.
Well, I just told you where we're at on units, so.
Oh, I heard the 5,000.
Yeah.
So we're good on that.
Yeah, check that box off. That one's done. And you know, the competition's going to be scared of this car, I promise you. And the El Diablo is the ultimate race car. That fits the wheelbase that I feel is the perfect off-road, desert, rock crawling. Maybe the Bandit for a rock crawler. I would say Bandit for rock crawler, short course, woods, maybe Glamis. But that Diablo is going to be the right car. That is the wheelbase of the cars that we built for the Dakar when we ran the Speed Cats at Dakar. So I believe that is the right package. It's right in the middle between a 2-seat and a 4-seat. And our 4-seat is actually the shortest 4-seat in the industry.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to getting the car. My other question is this too. A while back, you guys have said something about doing a race car version. I haven't heard any more updates on that.
Yeah, obviously we will build race cars, but before we build race cars, we're going to build production cars, and we're going to make sure we have our production stuff right, because that's what 90% of our customers have been. Even though I have a massive following from the off-road racing community, we have tracked it. About 90% are enthusiasts. You know, they want to go riding on the weekend. They want to go to Klamath. They want to go camping. They want to go to the woods. They want to travel Baja. They want to go up to the Oregon trails. You know, there's just such a variety of customers, which we have been able to learn a lot from our customers and what our customers want. So we do appreciate the input that we've had.
Yeah, so can I upgrade to the car if I wanted to race the car?
Well, what's your master number?
My master number is 1,309.
Yeah, we won't ask you to process yours until sometime late August. Okay, just want to make sure you know when. You know, we're going to work our way through. We're going to do the first set of orders that started at Sand Sports, and that's our goal, is to get these guys taken care of and get those all processed. But you will do your configurator that you saw tonight around August, and let's That's by the time we've been to a few races. We'll probably be pretty darn good with our production car by then. I would say we'll start talking race cars, a little bit later. And please understand the reason we talked about it weeks ago is we just have to make sure our production car is perfect. It has to be what we want it when it launches. We've got a lot of customers that have signed up with us, and that is added pressure. So I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's added pressure because now we have more people to please. So we're doing our best, and we will continue our best, and we'll be straight up with you guys and tell you where we're at on the process, just like we did with the configurator. We just couldn't get it to process into our system to be able to close out the orders.
All right. No, you said August. Are we talking August this year or next year?
No, you'll close out your order. You'll close out your order. Remember, you've got to order your car. If you just typical orders, plan on somewhere around 90 days, maybe a little bit more than 90 from the time you close out till the time you receive a car.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, you're on with Robbie Gordon tonight. Who am I speaking with tonight?
Hey, Robbie, this is Rob Stetson. How are you?
Hey, Rod. How are you tonight?
Good. Hey, actually now on the order list is 1645. Got a bandit for each customer.
Excellent. So we're at 412. Where's that?
That is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, basically.
Pennsylvania. Okay, cool. Yeah, you got some good coal roads up there, right?
Oh, it's all good stuff here. I currently have a double X for sale now, by the way.
How did you like your double X? May I ask?
Well, I love the car. It out-handles everything I've ever driven. Had a little problem with the motor, but other than that, it's been a great car. We have 4 of them in my immediate family, actually.
What kind of motor problems, if you wouldn't mind sharing me? Water pump stuff?
I'm still waiting. Hopefully they're going to warranty it. We talked about a month ago about it. There's a hole in the block.
Okay, so it either threw the rod out of it. You don't think it lost a water pump and then threw the rod?
No, they tore it all apart, and the only thing I see is those failed rods.
Okay, well, how many miles did you have on it?
500.
500. Yeah, that's obviously that's way too low. We've had very, very, very good luck with our double X Lily. The one that Max has been racing, the one we won the Mint with. That car I think has about 1,300 miles on it with the original motor, and it's a rock star. I mean, we finished 8th overall against the turbos and everything, and it's a lot of fun. So the double X is a great car. Obviously, we were involved in that process, and with a few upgrades, it is for the price right now today. The tracker or the double X as a entry level or mid level into the industry is a great vehicle.
If you weren't building the cars you're building right now, I would be keeping it. The biggest downfall with it right now is the lack of support I'm feeling from Textron, unfortunately. It's just what I see. Yeah,
and this is the same reason we decided to do our own engine. The only way we can control our destiny is to be able to control it with shocks, engines, ECUs, tires, wheels. We basically hydraulic power steering. I have broken my finger with it's not feedback. It's when the power system shuts off and then it doesn't have power and it winds it back at you. So I had that happen to me at King of the Hammers, and with a hydraulic system, you just don't have those type of issues. So that's why we chose at the end of the day just to put the good old-fashioned hydraulics on it and get on down the road.
Well, I think it's the design of it from the beginning, and I'm nobody, but I definitely like everything you're doing in the big picture here. It looks great to me. I do have a question about the trans.
Yes, sir.
So you got your forward gear and your reverse and your neutral and park. Is there a way to go to reverse without it going to park or whatever quickly, like on a hill climb? Because you can back out of it and then, state that rule like that on the on TV?
Potentially. Okay, let me give you what we do have. There's one thing we do have that the double X does have also, is we've got a 4-wheel locking spool system. So the front diff locks solid, just like the rear. And that potentially, it looked like to me like it shifted to the left, and maybe one tire from the front torqued it over to the left, and that's what got that thing started. I mean, you know, thousands or hundreds of thousands of people have now seen that incident. But we have a ratchet shifter, so it would definitely probably be faster than what's on your current double X, because double X you got to go 2 forward and you potentially could grab park at the same time. With ours, we've got positive stop, so you would have to do 2 ratchets to get it into reverse. You'd go ratchet first to neutral, ratchet second to reverse. So
that makes sense. So just the 2 hits.
2 hits forward, and you would be in reverse. Obviously, we upshift going backwards like a Formula car. You know, before they have paddle shifts, everybody had sequentials. It has a sequential shifter in it. So it does have that. A lot of people were not expecting that. But to get this system to shift like we want, to prevent people from going from, you know, from 3rd gear to 1st gear or 1st gear to reverse when they're going forward, we had to put a single shift per time. So it does have a ratchet built into the shift mechanism that does pull on a cable, but it pulls on it to the position you want to engage it to the next gear.
Okay, you know, I can definitely work with that. That's nice if you're into the hill climbing, you got to get out of it.
Yep, and then same thing, you know, that 3rd gear is really just it's an overdrive. You know, that's for the guys down in Baja. Where you're at in Pennsylvania, you'll be 1st and 2nd, so which is 1st and 2nd will be equivalent to low range in the XX, and high range just a little bit taller in 2nd gear, and then 3rd would be another decent step into 3rd gear.
I understand. So, and I know that you're doing a lot of support out west. My last question. You're doing a lot of support out west for the racing and such. Any wood racing support on this side, even contingency or anything like that? We got involved in that?
Well, I will tell you right now that we are operated out of North Carolina. So we do operate out of the old NASCAR facility that we had. So that's where we do all of engineering, and we will keep engineering here for a while. Obviously, we'll have a testing engineering out west that is obviously getting ready to ramp up. And unfortunately, we're seeing 110-degree days out there right now. But that is where we'll do the testing. We'll be out west. The East Coast, obviously, you know, don't take it the wrong way. I think when we decided, you know, I talked to my partners, we talked to the industry, and if we were going to start a brand, we needed to build a car that would be a rock star out west. And yes, I'm sorry, it's not, you know, we're not starting on the East Coast, but we will build cars to come to the East Coast, but we want to conquer the West first.
Hey, I completely understand that. I mean, it's simple business. I can see that you're going to sell more cars in the West than East. I get that 100%.
Well, let me just tell you, everything that we were doing at Articat or Textron when they took over, I'm going to do everything they said wouldn't work or didn't work. I'll do 100% opposite because I'm pretty confident in it.
Outstanding. Well, I thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, that's going to be, is that show number 19? Is that right? Are we 19 weeks here? They're giving me a hard time about my Johnny Cash shirt. I said by the time this thing's all done, this thing will probably stand up. But, you know, we have had an awesome time with you guys, showing you the industry, showing you inside our facilities, showing you how we feel we can build the best car in the industry. And it's not just because of a pipe dream. It's because of the experience, the 35 plus years. And, you know, I got some good stories. I have been fortunate enough to work with some of the best teams, the best racers, the best operators, probably some of the best sponsors throughout my career. I've been very lucky. And now it's time to share that with you guys and give you guys a car that everybody deserves, and something that is a safe, fun off-road vehicle, especially in these times. It looks like, you know, the world is changing for us, and more people are into outdoors and camping and off-roading, and it's perfect for our industry. So thank you for your support. Thanks for joining in on show number 19. We'll be back next week. Wednesday night we'll be at Road America, Wisconsin with our Stadium Super Trucks. We got some exciting announcements coming up in the next few weeks, but our next few days. But we are going to have some fun with Stadium Super Truck. We have an awesome field. We got some newcomers coming in the field, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you. Have a good night.